What's good? I hope you're doing lovely. This is going to be a very controversial video. I don't know how it's going to go. Don't come for me. I just have some opinions that I need to share, and typically I'm not personally one to share my views and opinions when it comes to popular controversial topics, but it's gone a little bit too far. I don't care who gets offended because all I'm going to be saying is my perspective, what I see this as, and I'm going to be saying the truth. And if the truth offends you, then you're going to have a hard time in life, honestly. But I will not ever suppress the truth to make somebody feel more comfortable. Okay, and that's the issue in the world today. The first thing that I want to address is something that hits too close to home. I've been seeing a lot of hate towards people with specifically blue hair. And I think that this is so unfair because the people who have blue hair and are going along with this garbage that's being pushed in the media right now, they are making us all look so bad. Do you know why I have blue hair? Simply because I like the way it looks. Not because I'm argumentative, not because I have pronouns that don't make sense, not because I place feelings as a higher priority than facts. None of that is true. I just like to have blue hair. I've had every color of hair. It's just because I like the way it looks. And I hate that we have been put into that category now of I don't know what to call it anymore. I don't know if it's Gen Z. I don't know if it's the far left. I don't know. It's just a very specific group of people that have gone too far and are growing at an alarming rate. Why are we just acting like we're okay with it? You know what else I like that isn't just having blue hair? I like playing with this rainbow ribbon that I have. I like to look at rainbows. I like the way that rainbow things are. I like the way that they look aesthetically. Because why wouldn't you? Color is nice. Look at my background. And I'm personally somebody who wears a lot of black. So having that nice little contrast is refreshing sometimes, okay? But now it has gotten to a point where if I do anything, if I own anything, if I show any interest in anything rainbow, then people immediately assume that I want to tell you about who I have sex with. People assume that I'm in favor of dedicating an entire month to being proud of the people that I have sex with, which the people who actually celebrate this month probably shouldn't be proud of a lot of the people they've had sex with. I'm just saying, any month, I don't care who you are, I don't want to know. And it's not something to be proud of. You do not need to dedicate a full month to letting the world know who you sleep with and what you're into sexually. You can enjoy whatever you want. You can do whatever you want in your free time. It doesn't need to be your whole personality. And I wish so badly that this very specific hobby, and yes, it is a hobby because it is a preference of what you do sexually. It's a sexual preference. And for some reason, it had to be represented by rainbows. Something that is so pure, so beautiful, and so natural. For some reason, somebody decided that that was going to be the symbol used to represent an entire group of people who enjoy celebrating and making it very publicly known what their sexual preferences are. We don't care. Nobody should care. And people are using the motto with it, like, be who you are, love yourself. Yeah, you can do those things without telling the entire world what you're doing in the bedroom, who you're sleeping with. That's not who you are. So stop saying love who you are and then making it about your sex life. I also want to take the time to show you guys how bad that this is getting. I want to show you this conversation that I had in one of my videos in the comments where all I was doing was just stating facts, and I was met with so much backfire and so much defensiveness, and I didn't want this to be an argument, and it shouldn't have to be an argument. It is stating facts. I'll just show you the video, then we'll talk about the comments. Facts versus feelings. Let's talk about it. Every time I see a debate where someone presents factual evidence and then somebody else doesn't like what they're hearing, so they come back with, that's not my definition of what that is.
Are you a virgin? You said your body count, and look, I'm not shaming you, but your body count's 16, right? A traditional woman is a virgin.
Well, I disagree. That's not my definition of traditional.
Define woman. Go, please. One of you.
A person who their internal idea of what they are is a woman.
Terrible definition.
There's no your definition, my definition. There is a definition, and just because you don't like what you're hearing doesn't mean that you can just negate it by saying, I don't define it that way. It's either a fact or it isn't. You can have a different way to rephrase what the definition is, and that's how you would phrase it. But when you change the definition entirely, that doesn't make it valid. You have an opinion, but you can't have an opinion over a fact. If I were to look at my dog right now, and I say, I feel like that's a cat, that doesn't make him a cat just because I feel that way. And if I was like, define a dog, because that's not my definition. I know, right?
he's just as appalled as I am.
So then this person said, except there's multiple definitions for words, especially in the context of what is a woman. It just sounds like you don't like the other definitions, pot calling the kettle black. So I said, there's a difference between multiple ways to phrase a definition and multiple definitions. One term can have multiple definitions unless it's spelled the same but used in a different context. For example, space. There wasn't much space to move around in the crowded room. Space. NASA has sent a rocket into space. Woman is not a term that can be used to define multiple things. A woman is a woman. If you said space without context, it would make sense for me to ask for clarification on which space you're referring to. If you said woman, I wouldn't have to ask for clarification because there's no other definition for woman. Somebody else agreed with me and said very well put. Then they said homonyms or multiple meaning words are words that have the same spelling and usually sound alike but have different meanings. Example, bark, dog bark, tree bark. There's also words that do have multiple definitions because they are both a verb and a noun. This is taught in 3rd grade. The definition of man now includes an adult who lives and identifies as a male, though they may have been said to have had a different sex at birth. And the updated definition of woman reads an adult who lives and identifies as female, though they may have been said to have had a different sex at birth. Straight from a dictionary, so you can be talking about sex or gender, therefore it has multiple meanings. I just want to pause and say that I think this is important to point out. They have always said that there's a difference between gender and sex. But now, in this definition, they're saying now includes an adult who lives and identifies as a male, though they may have been said to have had a different sex at birth. Different sex? Why are they a different sex now? I thought it was just deciding that that was your gender. But now you're using the terms male and female and sex, like different sex. Obviously that doesn't make sense. Obviously, there's something wrong there. Because people have said that man and woman are used as terms to define a gender. Is an adult who lives and identifies as a male, but now, if the definition of man, then where's the difference between male and man and woman and female? What's the difference between gender and sex now? So I said, you can call someone whatever you want, but that doesn't mean that's what they are. When you go to the doctor, they ask you if you're male or female so that they know what kind of treatment to offer you based on what your body needs. In the case that you're transgender, this is something they will take into consideration. But if you say you are a woman, they will consider things like pap smears, ultrasounds, birth control, dysmenorrhea treatments, UTI treatment, etc. If you are a man, these methods will not even be taken into account because they are used solely for treating a woman. Even if you are a man transitioning into a woman, these things will never apply to you. A trans woman is a trans woman, and if they want to be referred to as ma'am in social situations, then fine. But logically, their bodies will never operate the same way a woman's body does, point blank, period. They said, you quite literally are ignoring the definition of woman because of your feelings. I'm simply pointing out your hypocrisy. Listen, words change meanings constantly, especially in English. If you're going to argue about emotions not being involved and just focusing on facts, then the definition of woman has multiple meanings at worst and a new definition at best. Either way you want to put it, you're incorrect. I said, okay, look at it this way. 1.6 million people aged 13 and up identify as transgender in the US. Now let's take away the gender aspect of it. Imagine if 1.6 million Caucasians in the US identified as African American. Then the definition of African American was expanded to say anyone who identifies as African American. They might act different, talk different, dress different, but wouldn't it be so offensive to tell a black person that they have to refer to a white person as black because they feel that way? So how is it not offensive to all women who are in this exact situation? Oh wait, it is. And then Boogie, who was such a homie this entire conversation, had my back, said, I guess the other person commenting in this thread didn't fully understand your video or comprehend it entirely. Their feelings are getting the best of them. And I said, it's unfortunate that so many people think that it's necessary to warp reality just to be inclusive. And then they said, why do you keep bringing trans people up? I literally haven't said a word about them. The dictionary definition of woman changed. That's the facts. What was it you said in your video? Yeah, totally didn't get the message. My bad for correcting someone who doesn't know the definition of woman when they are talking about facts. Maybe y'all should take it up with Oxford and Webster. It's unfortunate that people don't read dictionaries before they open their mouth. And then Boogie said, you are just proving her point further, so if you change the definition of, let's say, cats are now dogs, does it really make it a dog now? I don't see your point. They said, more like you two just don't like the facts and the fact they make you both wrong. You'll try to bring in unrelated things to make it seem like you're right, try to logic your way out of it. Fundamentally, this whole discussion is about facts and people bringing in how they feel into things. You don't like more accommodating language, and that's irrelevant to the fact that the word woman has multiple meanings. If you're threatened by trans people, that's on you. I don't know why you're beating around the bush about it. You have no idea how dictionary definitions are changed, do you? Educate yourself about what is required to change a word definition before you continue to speak. Boogie said, stick to reading the dictionary, buddy. It seems to do wonders for you. Again, you're still missing the point. I'm not going to argue with you when your whole point is using solely the dictionary as fact. I guess science and biology aren't facts anymore, just the dictionary. Keep on furthering her original point. Webster and Oxford changed the definition to being inclusive, all to make people feel good instead of the actual facts. So since the dictionary definition is a fact for you, doesn't make it a fact. Again, if Oxford and Webster changed the definition of a cat to mean dog, you would say that tigers are canines. That was the argument I brought up, but instead of defending your position, you say, I need to educate myself? Wow, great argument, really top notch. I hope you have a wonderful day. They said, at least I read, LMAO. You probably should read more, to be honest. Then you wouldn't try to use logical fallacies and would know what they are. I'm not the one inserting my own definitions. I can't get over it. Because I know that there are so many people who think this way, and it blows my mind. And it's not safe, and it's not brave, and it's not progressive. It's actually weak. I'm going to say that, and that's a very controversial thing, which it shouldn't be. It should just be just common sense, dude. If you take pride in the fact that you are willing to put aside the truth and scientific evidence and just basic common human knowledge, if you're willing to put that aside to make somebody else feel better about themselves, that's not good. That's not a good thing. That's not a good trait to have. That's weak. And you're not doing that person any favors by telling them that you'll go along with whatever they choose to believe. If they are telling you that you need to accept them as somebody that they are not, because they can't accept themselves the way that they were born, the way that they are, and you just go along with it, you're doing nothing for them. They have a skewed perception of who they are in their mind. And if somebody came to you and said that they have depression, you would tell them that this depression is something that they are going through. It's not who they are. And that they will get past it. And that you would, if you were a good friend and you cared about this person, you would be there with them to help them through it. You wouldn't just go, okay, you're depressed. You're a depressed person now. That's all you do. That's what you are. I'll be more mindful to make sure that I treat you like a depressed person because that's what you're comfortable with. Comfortable is not always the best option. Okay? There is no progress in comfort. There is no growth in comfort. It is not a good thing to tell somebody that you support their decision to become something that they are not and that they will never be. And there's a lot of health risks associated with the choices that they want to make, but there's better ways around this. And we cannot keep telling people that the thoughts that they're having in their head are accurate and that we will work around them for them. Doctors have no idea what they're doing. So many patients that are dealing with this are just getting told whatever they want to hear because nobody wants to hurt these people's feelings. And if a doctor lied to me just to make me feel better, they're not doing their job. And there's different ways to treat the issue that they are coming to the doctor for, okay? It's not a matter of changing your body structure to fit what your brain thinks. It's about changing your brain to realize that you are who you are and to be loving of that. That's what it means to love who you are. Accept yourself as who you are. Be proud of who you are. It means to actually love who you genuinely are, and you don't need to change your entire body structure to be a completely different person. That's not loving who you are. That's you being in denial. And loving who you are and being proud of who you are is not who you sleep with. It's not your sexual preferences. That's not who you are. Just the same way as if you feel like you enjoy more masculine things as a girl or more feminine things as a boy, that's a preference. That's something that you enjoy. That's not who you are. Stop making it who you are. It's okay to just say, I'm a female, I like masculine things. And it's okay to say, I'm a human, and I like doing these sexual things with other humans of whatever gender. That's what you enjoy. It's not who you are. So stop saying, love who you are, accept who you are, and then pushing things that are not based off of reality, not based off of who you are as a person. This is such a controversial thing, and I wish it wasn't. I wish I didn't have to talk about this, but it's gone too far, and I really don't care who gets upset by this. I really don't care if it triggers anybody. I don't care. I don't care if it starts arguments in my comments. Don't care. I don't care. This is the truth. And I care about people a lot. And that's why I care about the truth. Because if you care enough about somebody, you won't let them go down this path. You won't make them feel like they will be better off in life and they will be more accepted if they change who they are completely. That's not loving. That's not caring. Especially if you're pushing somebody to get surgery that will permanently damage their body and potentially have a massive array of health effects that are irreversible. That's not kind-hearted. That's not genuine. That's not supportive. That's disgusting. And I think people just need to realize that you can be truthful and still care about somebody. The fact that we're not being truthful to these people and we're not being real with them about the damage that they could do to their bodies, and we're telling them that they'll be more loved and that they'll feel better about themselves once they become somebody who they're not. People these days are so scared to hurt somebody's feelings, yet they are willing to let that other person hurt their entire life because of a decision that could have been stopped if only someone had just been honest. If only someone had just put their ego aside for a second and told them the truth, that they are loved the way that they are, that they're allowed to like whatever they like, and that they didn't have to take it this far. I'm sorry. I just wish that we could show genuine compassion instead of compassion generated out of fear. I don't know how many people are going to watch this. I don't know if anybody's going to watch it. But I can't say I didn't try. I can't say I didn't try to help. I can't say I didn't try to be the voice of reason. I'm not making this video to shame anybody for their choices. I'm making this video because I care. I care so much. And I want people to be able to get the help that they need, not the help that they want in that moment in time that's going to ruin their lives. That's not help. And I think, in general, we as a society just need so much help, genuine help. And doctors need to stop telling patients that they know what they're talking about when they don't. If you're watching this right now, just know that you're loved. And you're perfect the way that you are. And you don't need to change anything to feel better. You don't need to change anything to feel more like yourself. You are yourself. And you deserve to feel comfortable in your own skin. That doesn't mean changing the skin that you have to make yourself feel better in it. You don't need to change anything. You're beautiful, and you're so important, and you're smart. And I just hope that you can see the severity of this. Obviously, I feel very passionate about it. But I don't feel passionate about it in a hateful way. I don't hate anybody. I just want the best for everybody. I hope that you're able to find comfort in who you are and embrace who you are. And I hope that you are able to surround yourself with a good support system. And I mean a genuine support system. Don't listen to people and don't surround yourself with people that are going to tell you what you want to hear. The people that genuinely care about you will tell you what you need to hear because they love you and they want the best for you. I want the best for you. That's all I have to say. Do what you will with that information. And I hope that you have a week as beautiful as you. I hope you drink your water. I hope you find any reason and every reason to smile. Okay, I gotta go.
Oh, it smells like moist toast.